and welcome to Nisi's Food Journey. I filmed this on May 6th, Coronation Day, the coronation of King Charles III, and I wanted to make some English food. I've actually never made this before, so this is my first time making a steak and ale pie. Of course, that requires some steak. I'm going to add some mushrooms, garlic, I like some carrots, a little bit of tomato paste for the broth, the gravy. I'm using a puff pastry this time, and it's ale, so I need some Guinness, Worcestershire, and beef stock. Gonna start with my carrots, prep all my vegetables beforehand. There you go. Don't you wish it was really that easy? I'm gonna season my steak. Hello, Spencer, with a little bit of salt and pepper. And now all my ingredients are prepped. I'm going to add some olive oil to a pot, and I'm going to start with the meat. I'm not going to cook it entirely here, but I am going to brown it. This is a recipe I saw a little while ago on a YouTube channel called What's for Tea. She is out of Scotland, so I thought it would be a pretty authentic recipe. I'm going to put my vegetables in next. And I'll have her YouTube channel with this recipe linked in the description. I like to season as I go. I'm just going to brown those for a little while, saute them for a couple minutes before I add my mushrooms. Because again, this is going to bake in the oven, so I'm also going to cook it on the stovetop for a little while. So this part, I'm just getting some color on the vegetables. Now I'm going to add a little more oil and add some garlic and some thyme. That's what she used in her recipe. Now we're going to add the meat and all its juices back in, and we're going to start working on the gravy. I'm going to add some flour. And then I'll start adding all of my liquids after I cook the flour for a couple minutes. I'm going to add a little bit of tomato paste and a good amount of Worcestershire. It's probably a good, I'd say about a tablespoon or so. And that flavor really came through. This is all I had in the house, so this is what I had to use. I didn't want to add too much because it would give off too much of a sweet flavor. And a little bit of beef broth. Stir everything together. And I'm going to let this go for a while now, to kind of cook everything, add a bay leaf, and just let it go for, I think I let it go for about half an hour. And this is what I'm left with. Turns out it was a lot of gravy. Like I said, I never made this before. But I just served it with some mashed potatoes. It turned out great. I am going to want to let this sit at room temperature and come down to room temperature for a while. I let it sit for about 40 minutes. Then I add my puff pastry. I cut a couple slits in the top so the steam can come out. And now I'm going to use an egg wash on top. There you go. And I baked this at about 375. I think I baked it for 40 minutes. And voila, there it is. Now, it's not the prettiest looking dish in the world, but it definitely tasted very, very, very good. My husband absolutely loved this dish. A little bit of gravy came out, and that's fine because there's my mashed potatoes cooking away. I had to let this cool for a little while, and there's no, really nice way to serve this. It is what it is. So I did what Miss What's for Tea did. I took the insides out, and then I put some of the puff pastry on top and served it with some mashed potatoes, and it was delicious. Very rich, very savory, extremely flavorful. So good. I also made a Victoria sponge to go with. I'll link the recipe below to that. I have a video for a Victoria sponge, and that turned out just absolutely amazing too. This dish is pretty simple, very delicious. I hope you give it a try. Perfect Coronation Day dinner. I'll definitely be making this again. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe so you can join me on my future food journeys.